In this particular course, we will focus on what is the basis of classification as well as the features of different phylum. Okay, so these all are the phylum which we are going to study over here. Okay, so the kingdom is Animalia and the phylums are the Porifera, Coelenterate, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelhelminthes, Annelids, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. Let's go now. So here are the features and the basis of the classification. You know guys, wherever we see near about us, we see a lot of variety of animals. Okay, we see a diverse type of life forms. So you know that it is difficult for us to study about each and every organism. So what the scientists has done, they had classified these organisms. Okay, so this classification helps in easy identification and also it helps in assigning whenever we found a new species. Okay guys, so this is why classification is done. So let's see what are all the bases of classification. First is the level of organization. The animal body generally shows 4 basic level of organization that we will focus here. Just wait for it. Then we will move on to symmetry, germ layers, body cavity, body plan, segmentation, notochord, and some other important feature. These important features we will focus in the other lesson. Okay, so what are those important features? Cephalatization, appendages, digestive system, respiratory, circulatory, nervous, endocrine, sensory, skeletal, reproductives. Okay, so all this system and fertilization. These features we will focus in the next lesson. Okay, right now we are going to study about these. So first one is the level of organization. As I told you that the animal body shows 4 basic level of structural organization. First one is the cellular level. Here you will find that the body consists of only cells. The body is made up of only cells. These cells are loosely arranged or aggregated, okay, but they do not form tissues. So here we will see only the cellular level of organization, and the example is sponges. In the sponges you will see the cellular level of organization. Now as you move on, then you will see that here in the tissue level some of the cells are organized to make tissues which do different functions. For example, in the coelentrates or in the Ctenophora you will see the tissue level of organization. Okay, again I am showing you the this classification. Here you will see in the cellular level poriferans are there, whereas in the tissue level of organization coelentrates and the Ctenophora. Okay, now let's move on to organ and organ system. Next level is the organ level. Here you will see that the tissues are grouped together to form organs. Okay, tissues grouped together to form organs. Observe this image. So here in the Platyhelminthes, in the flatworms, you will see the organ level of organization. Okay, organs are formed. Tissues makes organs. Cells makes tissues and tissues makes organs. Okay, now organs, different organs combine to make a organ system level. Right? So next is the organ system level. Here you will see different systems are there or different organs combined to make different system. For example, digestive system. But in the Platyhelminthes you will see that there is a single opening only. Okay, this single opening serves for both. It serves for as a mouth as well as the anus. So it do 2 functions. Okay, so this is the incomplete type of digestion. Whereas in the complete digestive system you will see 2 openings, mouth and the anus. Okay guys, so this is about the level of organization. Next is the symmetry. Okay, symmetry refers to the arrangement of parts on the opposite sides of the body. Okay, it refers to the arrangement of parts on the opposite sides of the body. So on the basis of symmetry, organisms are divided into 2 categories. Asymmetrical, as the name suggests, symmetry is not there, asymmetrical, and the next one is the symmetrical. So in the asymmetrical animals, in this you will see that whenever any plane passes through the center, it does not divide them into equal halves. Okay, this you will find in this poriferans or in the sponges. If you observe this, if any plane passes through the center and of these animals, they do not divide them into equal halves. So such animals are called asymmetrical animals. And you know guys that the larva of these poriferans, they have a radial symmetry. Okay, larva of the sponges, they have a radial symmetry, but as they mature, they are asymmetrical. Okay, now next one is the symmetrical animals, in which you will see that if any plane divide the animals, the body divides into two equal halves, right? So symmetrical animals are again divided into radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. In the radial symmetry, you will observe that when any plane passing through the center, okay, when any plane passing through the center, it will divide the organism into two identical halves. Whereas in the bilateral means here you will see only left and right equal parts. So if you divide this animal, so if they will make a mirror image from one plane only. Okay, in one plane only it makes the mirror image. Whereas in the radial symmetry, from any plane you cut this animal, you will see the animal body is divided into two identical halves. Okay guys, so this is clear, symmetrical. Now move on to next one about the germ layers. You know what are germ layers? Germ layers are the group of cells. They behave as a units. They behave as a units during the early stages of embryonic development. Means they are only responsible for giving rise to the tissues and organs. Alright. So on the basis of germ layers, the organisms are divided into two, diploblastic and triploblastic. Diplo means two, only two germ layers, ectoderm and the endoderm. Okay, so observe this image. Here you will see two germ layers are there, ectoderm outer one and the endoderm inner one. Okay, and some undifferentiated layer is also there, that is known as mesoglium. Okay, so such animals in which only two layers are there, ectoderm and endoderm, such animals are known as diploblastic animals. Whereas in the triploblastic, there is another layer in between the ectoderm and the endoderm, that is the mesoderm layer. Right guys, so these layers will help in formation of the tissues and the organs. Okay guys, so triploblastic animals are from the your phylum Platyhelminthes till the Chordata. Okay, from the Platyhelminthes till the Chordata, you will see the organisms are triploblastic. Okay, from the Platyhelminthes till the Chordata, right? Whereas the diploblastic animals are coelenterate and ctenophora. Now move on to the next feature. Next is the body cavity. Body cavity means this is a cavity which is present between the body wall and the gut wall. Okay, a cavity which is present between the body wall and the gut wall, that is known as the cavity. And this cavity is lined up by a mesoderm. Okay, it is lined up by which layer? Mesoderm layer. So according to the body cavity, the animals are classified into three groups. They are acoelomates, pseudocoelomates and coelomates. In the acoelomates animals, you will see that the body cavity is absent. It is not at all present. For example, in poriferans, in platyhelminthes, in coelentrates, in ctenophora, all these, here you will see in all these phylum, the body cavity is absent. Whereas in the pseudocoelomates, you will observe that this mesoderm is present, which is scattered in the pouches. Okay, mesoderm layer is scattered in the pouches in between the ectoderm and the endoderm. Okay, here you will see the pouches over here. So such animals are known as pseudocoelomates, and this type of cavity is known as pseudocoelom. And the example is Aschelhelminthes. This is very important for you. Example is Aschelhelminthes. So pseudocoelom is present in which phylum? Aschelhelminthes. Now about the coelomates. here you will see true-xylem. Okay, a true-xylem arises within the mesoderm. So this xylem is means this is surrounded by mesodermal tissues. Okay guys, so one thing very important over here is that true-xylem appears for the first time in the annelids. Okay, it appears for the first time in annelids. Now move on to the body plan. So animals have three types of body plan, and these are cell aggregated, blind sac body plan, tube within tube plan. In the cell aggregated plan, you will see a cluster of cells are there. Means the animal is made up of cells but no tissues. Whereas in blind sac body plan, you will observe that cells are organized into tissues, as you have seen in coelentrates. Okay, cell aggregated plan you will found in sponges. Whereas tube within tube plan, you will observe that organ system organization is there. Alright, now observe this figure. This one is the blind sac body plan and this one is the tube within tube plan. Okay, so here you will find that there are two openings, one for the ingestion, another one for the egestion. But in the blind sac body plan, for the ingestion and the egestion, there is a single opening. Okay. Now, if you move on to the higher invertebrates and vertebrates, okay, these all are the lower invertebrates. But if you move on to higher invertebrates or vertebrates, in these animals, the body plan, this body plan, we cannot divide these animals through these body plan because their body is quite complex. So now here the development is on the basis of the blastopore. Okay, development from the blastopore. Now here on the basis of the development from the blastopores, the organisms are divided into two, protostomes and heterostomes. In the protostomes, you will see that mouth develops first from the blastopore. Okay, so this is the blastopore. From here you will see that there is a development of mouth first and anus. The development of anus means it occurs later. But whereas in deuterostomes you will see that the anus develops first from the blastopore and mouth develops later. Okay, in the deuterostomes what will form first? Anus, whereas in protostomes mouth is formed first. So this is the main difference. Now move on to the segmentation. You know that some organisms are there in which segmentation is there. Here you will see that the body is externally and internally divided into segments. Okay, such segments are called metameric segments. For example, in annelids, in arthropods and in chordates, you will see metameric segmentation. And the important one is pseudometamerism. It is found in tapeworm, and here also the body is divisible into parts. And here the segments are known as proglottides. They are known as proglottides, right? But these are the false segmentation, right guys? And it is present in tapeworm. Now about next one, that is the notochord. What is notochord? Notochord is a rod-like structure. Okay, this one. It is a rod-like structure, and animals with notochord are called chordates, and in which this notochord is not present, they are called non-chordates. For example, in poriferans till the echinoderms, notochord is absent. So these animals are considered to be the non-chordates, right guys? So what is notochord? Notochord is a rod-like structure which is present on the dorsal side during the embryonic development. So this lesson is completed. Hope you like.